afternoon baseball here on the show. Opening day is here as we get the new season underway with a good matchup between the Baltimore Orioles and the Boston Red Sox. Hi again, everybody. It's finally here. Welcome to our special opening day edition of Baseball on the Show. We're joined by Dan Plesac. And Dan, as we get things going this season, it's pitching that has to be key if this team's going to have success.
You know, I always think pitching and defense are the keys to success in the long run. So as the season gets started, it's going to be really important for this pitching staff to set a good tone. If they can get off on a good foot, it will do a lot for the confidence of the entire ball club.
The game's count starting now. It's opening day. It's the show. And it's coming up next. Brett Saberhagen gets the call to pitch here on opening day in front of the hometown crowd. What's your take on him, Dan?
This guy really struggled last year. This season's going to be about a bounce-back year. Real ugly ERA last year. He has a lot to prove to himself and to his teammates that he's a much better pitcher than he was last year.
Now here's the first offering. Jackie Robinson is in to start things out as he swings and misses at that one at strike one.
First pitch, 106.
Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. Try to bunt his way on base here, but this will roll foul. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Still no balls and 2 strikes. Hit to first. Scooped up. And he'll take this to the bag himself, and there's your first out of the ball game. And now the starting lineup for the visiting Baltimore Orioles. Mark, what do you have on this lineup as they go for their first win?
Well, Matt, when we drove over to the ballpark today, we were expecting some offensive firepower, especially in this yard. It's a hitter's yard, but that could sometimes work against them. I'm interested to see what lineup stays within themselves and executes and manufactures to get this W.
Willie Castro comes on with 1 gone here as he looks at a called strike 1. Bases are empty, 1 man out. Curveball close, but it's 1-1. The temperature here at game time still definitely on the cool side. 51 degrees at first pitch. The 1-1 home.
Ball 2.
Hit on the ground down the first baseline. And he'll take it onto the bag himself. 2 gone now here in the first.
Batting third.
And stepping in, Grady Sizemore.
Grady Sizemore.
First pitch on its way. Hit on the ground out to short. Ahmed fields it cleanly. Throw in the dirt, but a good scoop at first saves an error as this side is retired. 1, 2, 3 go the Orioles. O's 0. Sox coming to the plate. You're watching Major League Baseball on the show. And now the center fielder Johnny Damon's in to kick off the home half of the first.
For the Red Sox, the center fielder, Johnny Damon.
Now the pitch. Had him reaching that time. It's strike one. Here comes the 0-1. Popped up. Back behind second. Robinson is there. He's got it one away.
Batting second.
With that, here's how the hometown Red Sox line up in this one. Hero, what do you got on this lineup in the series opener?
Well, Matt, you walk into this yard today and it's nothing but a hitter's park. But that can work against you at times. You have to stay within yourself. You can't just be turning and burning on everything. Stay within the game plan and know that a mistake doubles leaving this yard.
In now is Andrelton Simmons. 0-1 the count. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. And there are our umpires calling balls and strikes in this one. Mr. James Kingsley.
Dan, I know I was an offensive player, but I'm okay being a pitcher's umpire. If you're going to consistently pound that outer half, James Kingsley's usually going to give it to you.
Hey, listen, there's a reason why the pitchers throughout the league, they call him the king of the hill. You move the ball a little bit off the strike zone, he's not afraid to put that arm up. He's a very good pitcher's umpire.
Looked like the cut fastball there, and he got him to swing through it for the second out.
This is a pitch I think we'll see a lot from him in this game. The cutter darting in on the hitters in the opposite batter's box. It can be a real effective pitch when it's located well, and that one was right there.
Up to the plate now is David Ortiz. As with two away, he'll swing and miss at the first pitch. It's 0-1. Looking to get on base and keep this first inning alive. The windup and the 0-1. Boy, he comes back with a beautiful pitch there, and he's dominating this at bat. It's 0-2 now.
Man, that pitch had the look of a fastball. Straight changeup, and the bottom fell out of it.
The windup and the 0-2 pitch. Waved at and missed for the third out. Not much of a chance at hitting that one, and the inning is over. Nothing in the Boston first. We played an inning at Fenway. No score here on the show. New inning set to get underway, and that'll bring up the big bat of Aaron Judge.
Number 99, Aaron Judge.
First pitch of the AB now. Good bite to the slider, and he takes strike one. Waved at and missed, and he's behind 0-2. And did he hold up in time? A look down, and no, he went around. It's strike three. Next, it'll be Fred McGriff. First pitch of the AB on its way. Cold strike at the letters, 0-1.
Hey, when you're featuring a mid-90s fastball like this pitcher, attack with that pitch. Get ahead. Get the offense on their toes. That opens up the off-speed pitches later in the game.
A ball and a strike now. The 1-1 home is taken for strike two.
What a well-executed fastball right there. Down and away. If you're going to do any damage with that pitch, you have to think up the middle the other way, and you have to be diving and leaning out over that thing.
Got him to miss the breaking ball there. Fred McGriff goes down for out number 2 in the top half.
The third baseman, number 5, Robinson.
Into the box, Brooks Robinson. As he'll go after the first pitch and bounce it into foul territory. Trying to avoid becoming the third strikeout victim of the inning here. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1.
Ball in.
Swing and a liner. And the Orioles have their first hit of the season.
Hey, just a nice piece of hitting right there. He's able to keep his hands inside that ball, stay square as long as possible, and feed it into the opposite field for a base hit.
Now they'll have to deal here with Adam Dunn as he will look at a first pitch fastball for ball one. He takes his first cuts in this one with a man at first and 2 away. He's ready. Here's the 1-0. A ball and a strike. Robinson leads off first with a pair of outs in the inning. No offer on that one. 2 balls and a strike. Now the 2-1. Waves and misses for strike number 2. Never tempted to swing at that ball down low. It's ball 3.
Good spot for an RBI. Put the ball in play with the runner in motion. He could score all the way from first.
Got him swinging, and that will end the inning. Orioles lead 1. We'll go to the bottom of the second. No score. Bottom of the inning now, and into bat next, one of the best run producers in the land, J.D. Martinez.
J.D. Martinez.
He's ready. Here's the first pitch. Ooh, started him with the change, and it's 0-1.
I can't speak from experience, but that's got to feel good right there. Throwing a nasty changeup first pitch and getting a swing and a miss on it. Now he pretty much opened up any pitch in his arsenal.
Behind 0-2 now. 0-2 count, and the pitch. Now the fastball is right by him as he swings and misses for the first out of the inning.
That swing tells me he was really trying to get a pitch out front and rip it down the line, but that wasn't a great pitch to do it on. It's really not the best two-strike approach either.
Here's Xander Bogaerts now. And on the first pitch, he grounds foul. The windup and the 0-1. Gets the fastball by him here, and he's in control. 0-2. And the pitch.
Boy, so far early into this one, this guy's pitching really well, and I'm a big believer in body language. He's getting the ball, he's working really quick, keeping the ball down in the zone, and if you take a look at this guy so far early on, a lot of positive signs. He looks like he brought his good stuff in this one.
And he'll try to hold back, but he won't be able to, as that's ruled a swing, and there are 2 away now.
He's really on a roll right now on the mound. Back-to-back strikeouts to wrap up the last inning, and now he started this frame with the same story. 4 straight strikeouts in all.
Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch. Rafael Devers stands in as he can't connect here. 0-1.
This offense just doesn't look like they came to play today. Ugly swing after ugly swing. Just needs to be a better approach across the board.
And he got another one here. He strikes out the side. He set down 5 in a row via the punch out, and the inning is over. Down in order go the Red Sox. We'll move to the third with no score. Back with Mark DeRosa and Dan Plesac, Matt Vasgersian, as it'll be Robbie Cano settling in to start out the inning. First delivery to him. Robinson Cano stands in as he looks at ball 1 here.
I know this guy wouldn't go into the category of superstar, but to grind out the career he has being drafted where he was, my hat's off to him.
Can't sit back long enough, and the count evens up at 1-1.
The offense better get it going right here, because they certainly can tell from their dugout this guy is carrying himself with a presence out on the mound. He's got feel for all his pitches.
All even now, 2-2. Into the windup and the pitch. Little chopper back to the mound. Throw to first in time, and the leadoff man is gone to start the third. And now here is Zach Collins. And now the first pitch. Swing and a ball hit softly on the ground. And there are 2 away now. Striding in is Jackie Robinson. 0 for 1 for him here in this one. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. Too low, 1-0.
You have to be careful. You can't sleep on the bunt right here, even with 2 outs. They're playing him back, but this guy can handle the bat.
That evens it up, 1-1. Third inning, no score to this point. Two balls and a strike to the Orioles leadoff hitter. Timing just a tick off there as this one's fouled off to the right. And good patience to hold back on the curveball in the dirt. It's full now, 3-2.
Well, you don't see it all that often, but this might be a good time for a 3-2 change. If he can locate it, it's nearly impossible to hit.
Swung on and missed, and that's the final out of the inning. 3 up, 3 down for the Orioles. Home half of the third coming up, no score.
Leading off for the Red Sox, the right fielder, Hunter Renfroe.
First offering. Couldn't help himself that time as he chases one below the knees. It's strike 1. A swinging strike, and now it's 0-2.
This lineup is flailing right now. They're having a hard time just making contact, let alone putting the ball in play.
Oh, and they still have no answer for him up there. 6 straight punch-outs now, and there's one away.
That's not an at-bat he or his hitting coach are going to be happy with at all. It's bad enough to go down on 3 pitches, but none of them were even in the strike zone. That's a bad look.
At the plate, Nick Ahmed. As with one away, he can't make contact on the first pitch. It's strike 1. Bottom of inning number 3, 0-0 our score. Swing and a miss, and he's in the hole 0-2 now.
You could tell by the hitter's balance after that swing that he's seeing the ball really good. His timing is right there, and I expect him to catch something clean.
Got him to chase out of the zone that time. Nick Ahmed becomes out number 2 this inning.
The catcher, Christian Vasquez.
At the plate now, Christian Vasquez. As the first pitch to him is swung on and missed for strike 1.
Man, that's 7 straight strikes to start this inning. He's got a chance at an immaculate inning.
Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. Fouled off. The windup and the 0-2 pitch. 8 straight strikeouts. You got to be kidding me. The inning is over. So add one more name to the record book here as he strikes out the side on 9 pitches. More opening day baseball coming up following this. Now to the plate, here is Willie Castro. He'll try to get it going here to begin the 4th.
The old adage, pitching and defense have been stellar so far. They've certainly kept both offenses in check.
No balls and a strike to count. Here's the 0-1. And he's got to be more disciplined here. It's 0-2.
Hey, usually the second time through the order, you start seeing an incorporation of some more off-speed stuff. But this guy's locating and feeling really good about his fastball. 2 back-to-back.
Here comes the 1-2. Swung on and missed. He got him on strikes.
Always tough for one of these base umpires to make a call on a guy's check swing. It's not a great angle, and everything happens so quickly, so they really have to be paying attention out there. Looking at the replay, I think he got it right, so that's a tip of the cap for the Blue.
Pitch on the way. Grady Sizemore is at the plate now, and he takes a cold strike.
Man, this guy's been incredibly efficient so far in this one. Mostly because he's getting ahead. 70% of the batters he's faced, he's thrown a first pitch strike to.
Into the windup. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. This one's outside, quite a bit off the plate that time. Lifted down the line in left. Tough curveball that time, but he's able to make a little contact to keep this at-bat going.
He's got a good feel for his off-speed pitches second time through the order, and we just saw 3 in a row.
Good job to spoil that one away, and he stays alive. Another 1-2 delivery. Hard hit to first. And he whiffs on it as this ball's right under his glove.
Yeah, I'm not sure. This ball might have caught him in between hops. He looked unsure which way to turn his glove, and the next thing you know, it's by him.
And that'll bring up Aaron Judge as he takes a called strike at the knees. It's 0-1. Struck out in his first at-bat. On its way, the 0-1 pitch. Sizemore, the runner at first with one gone in the inning. And a fastball blew it right by him, and there are 2 down. Didn't mess around much in that at-bat, Dan.
No, that was pretty impressive, Matt. I really like a pitcher that trusts and works off his fastball. And right there, he decided he didn't need to use anything else. 3 straight heaters and go grab some bench.
In now, Fred McGriff, as he will take strike 1 on the fastball here. No balls and a strike. Looking to put the ball in play here. He went down on strikes in his first at-bat. Comes set, and the 0-1. And then that's a pretty good example of why he's such a great pitcher.
Yeah, stuff. Stuff is obviously the important key to being dominant on the mound, but it doesn't mean a whole lot if you don't have outstanding control to go along with it. But he does, and he really spotted that pitch.
Bounce to first. Oh, and it eats him up a bit. Throws there at first, so the error doesn't hurt him on the scoreboard as the inning is over. 1 left for the Orioles. On to the bottom of the 4th now, still with no score.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments these hitters are able to make in the middle innings of this game.
The center fielder, Johnny Damon.
Pitch on the way.
Holy smokes. That's the first ball they've taken the entire game so far. They're swinging at everything.
Counts even, a ball and a strike to Johnny Damon.
Hey, make no mistake about it, this lineup's going to have to get going and get a little bit more aggressive. This guy's pounding the zone.
Can't keep the weight back, and he falls behind 1 and 2.
Hey, if you're going to get a swing on a pitch that far in off the plate, pretty much options are wide open.
Fouled away.
You can really tell they're trying to keep the ball in on this big slugger right here.
Is that an effort to keep him from getting extended, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's the idea, Matt. But he might spin to win if he starts looking for it in there.
He'll try again, 1-2. Turned on, but it's wide of first and foul. And he rings up another one. Make it 9 strikeouts for him in the game.
He put up a pretty good battle at the plate right there. They finally get him on a 1 and 2 pitch, but you could see that he wasn't laying down without a fight. He really made the pitcher earn that strikeout.
So now to the plate will be Andrelton Simmons. As the changeup to him drops in there for the first strike. Comes into this at bat 0 for 1 in the ball game. Behind 0-2 now. And he struck him out. The 10th victim set down on strikes thus far.
That's 10 strikeouts for him now, and I'll tell you, he could rack up quite a few more before he's done. Still a lot of game left in this one.
To the plate now, David Ortiz, as he will take a fastball in there at the knees for strike 1.
Rock solid performance up to this part of the ball game right now. One of the keys, 90% of his first pitches have been for strikes. And when you do that, you really make the hitter swing at the pitch you want them to swing at.
Oof, and it's safe to say he doesn't look all that comfortable up there. 0-2 now.
I know we want to focus on the offense and how bad they've been so far, but can we give some love to the pitcher? He has had these guys in the rocking chair all day.
And yet another strikeout here. His 11th of the ball game, and this one ends the inning. Red Sox go down 1-2-3 through 4. Still tied, 0-0. Back now at Fenway Park, and here's Heidi Watney with a report.
Matt, I had a chance to discuss the state of the Orioles offense with their manager between innings. And one thing he mentioned to me was the lack of discipline he's seeing out of their at-bats right now. A lot of their outs have come from weak contact and strikeouts as a result of chasing pitches outside the strike zone. He said it's going to be extremely important for them going forward to be more selective with their swings and force the opposition to throw more strikes.
All right, thanks, Heidi.
Leading off for the Orioles.
So here is Brooks Robinson. He'll start things out as we begin the 5th. Ready to deal. Here comes the first pitch.
Shocked he didn't let it fly right there. Usually you're looking for a fastball elevated to get the party started.
Now a swing and a miss, and things are not looking real promising here. Down 0-2.
This offense has just been flailing at the plate all game long, so it's no wonder why they've only been able to pick up 1 hit so far. I'm not seeing much of a game plan from these hitters.
A windup and the 0-2 pitch. And he fouls this one off. And he stays alive here as he gets a piece of this, and in turn he gets a piece of the catcher behind the plate. The 0-2 once more is taken. That's ball 1.
Well, I think that pitch is the result of a lot of foul balls. He might have tried to do a little bit too much with it, trying to get him to swing through it, but it just ended up taking off on him.
Here comes the 1-2. This one's down to 3rd. And the 5th inning will start with a ground out, 1 away. Stepping in once again is Adam Dunn, struck out in his first at-bat.
Yeah, and kind of shocked he got blown away with a fastball. You could tell he was late on that one, and we'll see if he tries to cheat to something this AB.
No balls and 1 strike. Dunn with that open stance, and here's the pitch. And it's 1-1.
Well, that backdoor breaking ball just missed right there. It's a very effective pitch. If you can hit the outside corner of that pitch, it's unhittable.
Looked like he was on that one, but it's 1-2. Did well just to make contact there as he spoils off a good changeup. Here he comes again, 1-2. Again, he sends it out of play. And he'll lay off the curveball that's in the dirt that time, and it's back to even now at 2-2. And this is swung on and missed, so it's 2 up, 2 down to start the 5th.
I'll tell you right now, this guy has a shutout going, and it's been all business. He's not messing around trying to pick at corners. He's being aggressive in the zone, and he's attacking each and every one of these hitters up to this point.
So Robinson Cano will grab a bat next, as he'll look at a fastball in there on the outer half. It's 0-1. He's 0 for 1 thus far. Popped him up. Simmons over to his left, and that will end the inning. 1, 2, 3 go the Orioles. Halfway home, still no score. Welcome back for the bottom of the 5th. Here's Heidi Watney.
Thanks, Matt. During the commercial break, I talked about the Red Sox offense with the Boston manager, and he was pretty blunt in saying they're just not having very good at-bats. They haven't had a single guy on base yet, so it's starting to feel a little desperate down here. But he said they've unfortunately just been faced with some really great pitching today. The key going forward is to find any way they can to get him out of his rhythm on the mound. Now, that may be a tall task, but they feel the little adjustments could lead to things turning around for them.
Okay, thank you, Heidi.
JD Martinez.
First pitch on its way. JD Martinez is the batter now as he looks at a ball 1-0. And the sinker is over here, and that evens things at 1.
This guy's been really on point so far, but it's not getting any easier. He has to get through 4, 5, and 6 right here.
1-2 now as that one's fouled off. Swung on and missed. Really fooled him that time for the first out.
I always like watching pitchers that attack with their fastballs until there's a reason to start mixing it up. He hasn't needed many of his secondary pitches so far on this one, and there was another good fastball for a strikeout there.
And that brings in Xander Bogaerts. As he'll take a look at a sinker here, too low for ball 1. Looking to put the ball in play here. He went down on strikes in his first at-bat. The 1-0. Changeup gets him out in front for strike 2.
The problem for the batter now is he's gotten so inside conscious after those first 2 pitches. Anything on the outer half of the plate's going to look a foot outside.
Throw to first will take care of him. Score it 2-3 on the putout, and there are 2 gone now. Rafael Devers the next to bat. And Dan, it seems like this starter is just dominating the game right now. Feels like we're seeing a lot of 3-up, 3-down innings.
No doubt about that, Matt. Hey, I've enjoyed watching him go about his business, but I'm also interested to see if this offense can figure out a way to get a couple of cracks in his armor before it gets too late.
Yeah, that remains to be seen. Now here's the first offering. Boy, not the way he wanted to start out here. It's 0-1.
Hey, I can't have one of my best left-handed power bats fishing for balls off the plate.
A little quick on that swing, and he finds himself behind 0-2. Nothing in 2 count, and the pitch. And he's going to add to the total. 14 punch-outs now as that ends the inning. Down in order go the Red Sox. 6th inning coming up. Still zip, zip. Top half of the 6th about to get started. And next will be the speedy catcher, Zach Collins. Infield shifted well to the right. Here's the first pitch. And here's a fastball called for strike 1. Fastball called for strike 2.
Can you boys say next? Who's next up to bat? Because this guy's done. You cannot fall down 0-2 to one of the better pitchers in the league and expect to get a base hit.
Now the pitch. Lifted in the air to center field. On the run is Damon. He's there and records the first out. Next to dig in, Jackie Robinson. 0 for 2 on the afternoon so far. First pitch on the way.
You know, some guys just don't like pulling the trigger in a 0-0 count. They don't like the ambush tactic. They like to calibrate the speed, maybe pick up the brake. They want to know everything your ball does before they pull the trigger.
Fastball, and he's quickly in the hole. 0-2.
Man, this guy's really pitched well so far, attacking the strike zone, and he's really kept these hitters off balance.
No runs, just one hit, and no errors for the Orioles so far. Lays off that time, and it's 1-2. Hit softly on the ground to third. Gonna be a tough play, and that's the second out. In now for the O's, Willie Castro, as he'll dig into the left-handed batter's box. First pitch of the AB now. A fastball here as he'll take a look at ball one. 1-0.
Hey, I hope that call doesn't throw him off his game right here. He's been pitching one heck of a game, and I'd hate to see the umpire get in his head right now.
This is hit the other way out toward left field, and Martinez will make the catch to retire the side. So another good inning for him on the mound. 6 shutout innings now. Bottom part of the order, 7, 8, and 9 due up in the home half, and we still have no score. Bottom of the 6th inning now, and digging in is the outfielder, Hunter Renfroe.
The right fielder, Hunter.
Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch. Good changeup there to start him, but it drops a little low for ball 1. Outside with the cut fastball there, and it's a 2-ball count.
You can see this guy's more focused at the plate right now. In that first AB, he went down on strikes.
From the windup, the 2-0 pitch. Swings right over the top of that one. 2-1.
Although he doesn't use that pitch too much, if he's able to steal some strikes early in the count, could be something they have to think about.
Into the windup. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Got him. And that's number 15 for the ball game.
You know what was really impressive to me about that strikeout? He fell behind 2-0 to start the at-bat. That's a pretty bad place to be, but then he kind of refocused himself and came right back with 3 quality pitches in a row to sit him down. That's not easy to do, but now his focus has to hone in on getting ahead on the next guy.
Nick Ahmed comes on with 1 away as he looks at a ball. It's 1-0. Red Sox still looking for their first hit here. Now a curveball misses inside. A high fastball is in there.
Yeah, this is one of my biggest pet peeves in the game, when guys get count leverage and take fastballs. It's a game of fastballs. You calibrate everything off the heater. Surprising take right there.
Here now the 2-2. Swung on and lifted in the air to left center. And Dunn's got this for out number 2. Next up for the Red Sox, Christian Vasquez struck out in his last trip to the plate.
Yeah, and he didn't put up much of a fight either, Matty. Got to find a way. Can't go down 3 pitches. I don't care if you're staring at him or swinging at him. You have to find a way to make this pitcher work a little bit harder.
0-1 the count. Now the pitch. Oh, and he's got him in the palm of his hand now. It's 0-2.
You see that swing right there? You know what that tells me, boys? That this pitcher is doing his job right here. But also the offense is He's obviously not picking anything up today.
Filthy changeup that time, but he's able to make contact, and he'll get another chance.
Wow, this guy has been on top of it today, pushing the throttle and pulling it when he needs to.
Oh, and he dusted him off the plate that time. Some mind games being played now. It's 1-2. Now here's the pitch. And he struck him out. So it might be time to begin the countdown, as he's now gone through 6 innings without allowing a base hit. Red Sox go down 1-2-3. We are still scoreless. The batter will be Grady Sizemore. He'll start the 7th. And Dan, as a former pitcher yourself, you must be enjoying this. Lots of good pitching and defense today.
Oh, that's one of the keys. We're seeing a lot of strikes. We're seeing a lot of swings. We're seeing some great plays on defense. This has been a snappy one up to this point.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. Skied in the air to straightaway left. Martinez has a read on it, and that's the first out of the inning. One gone now in the Baltimore 7th, and that'll bring up the former American League Rookie of the Year, Big Aaron Judge. First delivery to him.
Man, this guy's had their number all game long. Up, down, in and out. He's pitching very well.
Fastball right back to the mound. And he'll just flip this on to first for the second out of the inning. Ready now for Baltimore, Fred McGriff. No hits in 2 trips to the plate for him in the ballgame. First pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike one.
Hey, it's always key getting early strikes in the count. This guy's been awesome at it so far. More than 70% of his first pitches have been in the strike zone.
On to first, and this will remain a tie ball game as the inning is over. 3 up, 3 down for the Orioles. Still no score. Last half of the 7th here, and it's back to the top of the order now for Johnny Damon.
The center fielder, Johnny Damon.
Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch. A fastball off the plate away. It's ball 1. Popped him up. Collins moving to his left. 1 out. Into the box, Andrelton Simmons. He went down on strikes in his last at-bat. And now the first pitch.
I really like how he's been attacking hitters early in these ABs. He's thrown strikes on the first pitch to over 70% of the guys he's faced so far.
Right by him here, and he's set up for another strikeout here. The count to 0-2. Out in front of that one, may have been looking fastball. Good job just to make contact.
I know he fouled that pitch off right there, but he was definitely out in front. He was cheating to a heater, no question about it.
The next 0-2 is a wave and a miss. He struck him out.
That was a big strikeout there, guys. The best pitchers have the ability to strike guys out when they really need to, and that second out was really important at this point of the game. Could be something we look back on later when the game's over.
Into the box now, David Ortiz. As he'll take a look at ball 1. He's 0 for 2 in the ballgame so far. And that pitch misses in the dirt, and it's 2-0 now.
Couple of strikeouts early in the game, but he's done a much better job in this at bat, trying to get ahead and put himself in a good hitter's count.
And it's fouled away. Now the 2-1. Popped him up. Collins over to his right. And that retires the side. Down in order go the Red Sox. And this is still a 0-0 ball game. Now into the box, Brooks Robinson. He'll start things out here in a tie ball game. First pitch of the AB on its way. And he'll power in a fastball that time at 94 for strike one. Ready with the 0-1 pitch. Grounded to third. Devers gloves it. Throw on to first in time, so the leadoff man is set down to open up inning number 8. And now Adam Dunn. He's hitless in his 2 at-bats so far. Here's the first pitch. Ball 1. Swing and a miss. Looked like the slider there. A ball and a strike. Skied in the air to straightaway left. Martinez is right there as he'll put it away without much problem for the second out. Next it'll be Robinson Cano. 0 for 2 on his line thus far. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. Now a little looper down the left field line. And that'll get down for a base hit. Throw into second. The tag, and they'll get him at second. And with that, the side is retired. 1, 2, 3 go the Orioles. We are still scoreless.
Right now, right down, write your feelings out loud on a song loud. Put my words in style, find out why my people are crying out. Reach out with.
So here's the Boston cleanup hitter, J.D. Martinez. And he'll start out the bottom of the 8th inning.
J.D. Martinez.
And now the first pitch.
Hey, this one's tied late in the game. As a pitcher right now, you just can't lay a cookie in there 1-0.
The pitch.
Yeah, that looked like a strike, but let me tell you, when you're staring at a big 0 in the hit column, getting a call like that to go your way can feel like a big victory.
A swing by Martinez, and this is driven to left. And they have taken the lead. So a solo shot down the line in left. As they get on the board first, it's 1-0.
This is about as painful as it gets for a pitcher. He's been spinning a gem, posting nothing but zeros. Then this guy steps up and slaps him down the line. He thought it was going foul. No such luck. It boinks off the pole for a homer. The no-hitter and the shutout are gone in the blink of an eye.
Emilio Pagan is out from the bullpen now as he'll get the call here on opening day.
batter, number 2.
So now to
hitter,
the plate, Xander Bogaerts. As he takes a called strike on the black, it's 0-1. 0 for 2 from him so far in this one. The 0-1 pitch. Curveball, swing and a miss, and he's behind in the count 0-2. 1 run, just 1 hit, and 1 error on the Boston line score. Fouled off. Here's another 0-2. Struck him out. Struck him out again, I should say. His 3rd punch out of the game. There's a look at the final line for the Orioles starter, and that's exactly how he hoped to get this season started on opening day.
One of the big keys to having a good pitching performance is not being afraid to throw the ball into the strike zone. And this guy certainly wasn't in this one. Didn't allow a walk all game long.
Rafael Devers is in for the 3rd time now as he takes a called strike. It's 0-1. One out, nobody on. And he misses with it, 1-1. Lifetime versus this arm. A number of meetings. He's 1 for 7. The 1-1. 1-2 now. Got him. And that's the 3rd time we've written a K next to his name in this one.
That's the 3rd time in this game he's gone down on strikes. Not the game he was hoping to have when he was taking batting practice, but at least his guys are ahead.
Stepping in now, Hunter Renfroe. As the first pitch misses to him, it's ball 1. No hits to this point. The set and the 1-0 pitch. And, looked like ball 2 below the knees, but it's ruled a strike, and that evens the count at 1-1.
Hey, this could be a huge momentum swing for this team right here. Relief pitcher has come busting through the gates and done his job. Try and get this team back in the dugout where the offense can get rolling.
Looking for the strikeout. Here's the 1-2. Got him. And he goes down on strikes for the 3rd time. The Red Sox are on the board thanks to the solo home run. Last chance coming up for the Orioles. Now 1-0 Boston.
Feel like I got hundreds of them. No love for me. Y'all ain't in the streets. Y'all just in the street. Y'all fake ministry. Y'all just in.
Now at the plate is Zach Collins. It's been an 0 for 2 effort for him to this point.
Zach Collins.
First delivery to him. A bouncer to the left side. Devers has it. And an off-balance throw is in time as he takes one away. Wow. So the batting order turns over now and set to go Jackie Robinson. He's 0 for 3 so far, so he hasn't done much to help at the top of the lineup. First pitch on its way. Here's a curveball that runs outside. It's ball 1.
You know, because this is just a 1-run game, this doesn't strike me as a situation where he's going to be working around a guy. I think he's going to challenge him right here.
The 1-1 home. Takes a pass and misses. That's strike 2. 1-run game here in the top of the 9th. seared down the first baseline. He's got it, and he'll take this on to first, and they're down to their final out, 2 away.
And hey, if the first baseman is playing straight up there, that's probably a double down the line. But in order to prevent that late in the game, they had him guarding the line, and it obviously worked out perfectly.
Now to bat, Willie Castro. He's their last shot here with 2 away in the ninth as they look to avoid the shutout.
Yeah, Matt, they just haven't had any answer for the great pitching so far in this one.
First pitch on its way.
And that's got to fire you up right there, boys. This guy has been on the bump all game. Now it's late, and he's still throwing challenge pitch after challenge pitch. Think he's feeling frisky?
1 ball, 1 strike to count. The 1-1.
Nope, that's a ball.
And he'll try and end it here with an even 100 pitches.
What an unbelievable effort. He has had total command of all pitches, all quadrants. Dan, this has got to bring a smile to your face.
It does, D-Roy. In a day and age where we don't see very many complete games, or for that matter, guys going out into the 8th, let alone the 9th inning, this has been a terrific start up to this point.
Fouled away. And a full house here at Fenway. 36,984 on their feet. And he gets strike 3 called to end it here, and with that, this one is over.
Yeah, they could only manage 2 hits against him the entire game, so they were never really in a position to even challenge him. Rock solid win and a memorable performance.
A single run good enough to do it today. 1-0 the final score. The Boston Red Sox came through late, taking the lead in the 8th to secure the victory. Brett Saberhagen gets the win on the mound, his first of the year, and records a complete game 2-hitter in doing so. John Lester was dominant on his way to 17 strikeouts, but is still tagged with the loss. So that will wrap things up. For Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Watney, and our whole crew, I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, head to theshow.com.
The final line score for this afternoon's ball game. For the victorious Boston Red Sox, 1 run on just 1 hit, 1 error. They left no runs on second base.
Got a call for it if you got it. Ain't no stopping on the go. Got a call for it if you got it. Going live, good at the show. Got a call for it if you got it. Ain't no stopping on the go. Got a call for it if you got it. Going live, good at the show. Feel the pain. Step on the deck. We need to stretch. Mama the truth, playing it cool, wipe out the sweat. Get in the zone, kick on the throne, I'm about to flex. Home run, I'm throwing by their opponent, show me who next. Play in the field, look alive. Slide, die, line drive like Dion on prime time. I'm zeroed in, while bun down when I settle in. I break ground, steal the base when you not around. Golden glove with a triple crown, I raise the ring cause I hold it down. I'm about to chase, money in case, clean the base, pick up the pace. I'm about to chase, money in case, clean the base. Got a call for it if you got it. Ain't no stopping on the go. Got a call for it if you got it. Going live, good at the show. Got a call for it if you got it. Ain't no stopping on the